If you're collecting client information, sending intake forms, or collecting leads, you don't need Typeform or any other paid subscription. In this video, I'm going to show you the steps to set up your own Google Forms from start to finish. Let's get started. Open up to find Google Forms. Here, open Google Forms. And they have a few templates here, work requests, contact information. Let's create a new blank form. We're going to first create a title. I gave it a title, idea to income to the event, and for the form description, create that. I made a quick description to the event for creating your first offer. Now you can bold or italicize any of these formatting options you want, or even add a link. We're going to have, this form is going to collect emails. So there's a spot for a required email. You can have, change the settings here. Let's click that. You can make it a quiz where you'll need, point values set for the answers and to automatically provide feedback. You would click that here. For responses, you want to make sure you choose collect email addresses, send responses a copy of their form. If you don't want to, you leave it off. If you want them to be able to edit their form, you would cut this on. And then that means they can change their submission after submitted. You can cut that on if you want to limit it to one response. Presentation is showing how the form is going to be presented. So there are a couple of choices here. You can click show the progress bar, which I like, so people they can see their progress and see how much they have left. Shuffle question order, confirmation message. You can create, your response has been recorded as the general. You can create something else that you want here and save. Show link to submit another response, which is disabled if you limit to one response. You can have them view results summary. That means you share the results summary. And you can disable autosave for all respondents. You do want them to save their responses, so we'll leave that unchecked. There's also form defaults. You want collect email addresses by default to be here, and responder, put input, verify, do not collect. If you didn't want emails, like maybe they're already clients and you've already got their stuff, you could click do not collect. You could click verify, but it's just easier to put responder input and check later with your responses. Make questions required by default. That means you would have all the questions be required. I typically don't do that because it's only a few questions I absolutely need answered to move forward with a call. So we're going back to questions. That was settings. Now we're back to the questions. Here is where we set up questions. Over here, this bar on the right, the first button is to add a question. So from there, we're going to add a question. Do you currently have a business idea? For this workshop, people are going to either have a business idea or they want to figure out how to create an idea from their skills. So I'm going to ask them this question. And this is a multiple choice question. So for this first question, let's go through the question choices. There's multiple choice, there's check boxes, there's drop down, and these other options are file upload, linear scale, rating, multiple choice grid, checkbox grid, date and time. So, oh, and a short answer and paragraph are also there. So, do you currently have a business idea? Do you have a current business idea? Is really a multiple choice. The answer is going to be yes or no. And I am going to mark that as a required question because it's necessary for this event. So we're going to look at this next button on the right. It says import questions. Say you have questions that you've used, maybe you just had them on a Word doc. You can import those questions here. You click on this and then go pull the questions from wherever you have them. So this is add a title or description. So let's go back and take a look. We've got an idea to income to-day event. For the event, do we need a title and a description for anything else? No. Do we need images? Well, we could add an image for our event, for our form. You can use images you have, you can use photos, you can use things from your Google Drive or upload from your device. So if you want a image in the body, you get it over here. Where we're going to get the image for the top of the form will be up here in customized theme, which we'll do a little later. So as far as the questions, add an image, you can add video. Let's look at sections. So now we have section 1 and section 2. Section 1 is the idea to income to-day event is the first section with a main description. It's got email, a question. We started a question, but personal info. Okay, let me add a question for personal. First name, first and last name. And that's a short answer. So they would put their name. And actually, we probably can make this section move and become one, as you see here. I'm reordering the sections, personal info, and then I'm going to save it. So personal info, and then I'm going to save this section name here. This is the name of the event, so I'm going to name the section business details because I need to know things about their business. I'll type that here. So this section 1, personal info, section 2, business details, and I'm gonna bold it because the other one is bolded. So do you have a business idea is a business detail. We're gonna add another relevant question for this questionnaire. And we're going to put that here. So this is going to be a multiple choice question. How many hours do you spend? So I'm going to make it multiple choice. We already talked about the types of questions we have. So it'll be multiple choice. So I've got 3 choices for them. And as you can see over here, you can add an image if you want for each of the answers, which I think is kind of cool, but not necessary. And this is a required question for me. So we've got section 1, personal. I'm going to have to put personal here. So I can get a brief description that fits the section. So the sections are to identify what the questions are going to be about. So section 1, we've got personal info. So I typed in a brief description. There will be the email and then the first and last name answer. And then after section 1, we continue to next section, which is an option. We go to section, or I go to section 1 or go to section 2 or submit. We're going to choose continue to next section. And so this only shows up with sections, but we're going to put some more questions here. We need for personal info, we need email, and we need first and last name. We don't need a lot of personal details. We do need more stuff about their business, how many hours they spend working on a business. Do they currently have a business? Now I'm going to change the order, which you can easily do here by grabbing the question. And I'm going to add one more question so we can just move through this form. But so far I've added required questions. So I'm going to add one that isn't required. Okay, another question I'm going to have. Now, we have used multiple choice. We've used short answer. We've used short, multiple choice and check boxes. No, let's use drop down. I'm typing what type of business do you have or planning to have? And what I mean by type, is it going to be a physical product or a service-based business? That's the information I want to get. So I'm going to make a drop down and have that. Service-based, and then I'm going to type physical product. And then I'm going to type not sure, because maybe they have options they don't know quite yet. This is all information that I need to know before the event, so I'm asking here in the questionnaire. And it's not required, so I'm not going to click this. But we've got questions. We've used the questions. We've worked with the title and description. You can add images here, and we've created sections. So let's go and do some checking out the settings and themes. So we created a title for this form. Now, as you can see, there's a folder, and if you want it to live in a certain folder, you can absolutely do that. I am going to move this folder file to operations, so it lives there. So you will determine where you want your forms to live. So you can star the form if it's really important to you. So you'll see it under the starred documents in your Google Drive. This is add-ons. This is different Google Workplace, Marketplace add-ons that they have access to. Customized theme. That is where we can change the fonts, the header, the question, the text. So let's make, if you want all your text to look like, to match your brand, then you would move that here. You want everything to be Montserrat because that's your brand font. So you would do that here. And then they have the font sizes. You can leave them or change them. Here you can add your header image. I would go to uploads because mine is, but wherever you have your document, you would go to get it there. It can be living in Google Drive. Now, when you position a header, you have to make sure your image, the important part of the image, is in this window and not in the space where it's grayed out. Because you can see here, the name of the business and my name is here, and that's what I'm saving. And the colors pick up from the document. So you can alter the colors you see here if you want. Maybe you can click on one of the other colors and it'll change the section colors and the background. I like, if you like a darker background, you can do that here. Here is to get a preview of the form. It's not published yet, so it's not really showing, and that's where you get this statement here. But this shows you what people will see once it's published. And we can go back to the form. Up here is undo, redo, the link that's going to exist. You can copy the link. Once you publish the document, it will have a link and you can copy it here. This is the to share. You would choose who you want to share with and the status. If it's editor, the view is anyone with link. And for editor view, they can only view. For responder view, if you want editor view to be editor, you would click that. But if you want responder view to be anyone with the link, which is most likely the best choice, and then you would click anyone with link, and then you're done. And it has a note: editors will be able to view and delete form responses. And to do that, we publish the form to accept responses. So now we're done with sharing accesses. So we've taken a look at questions and settings, responses. So here, when responses show up, there's this neat thing you can do is link to sheets. That means if you want the responses of this sheet to go somewhere in particular, say you don't really use a CRM right now, you're using like a spreadsheet. Well, you can click this link to sheets and either create a new sheet for this idea to income event or click an existing spreadsheet. And then it'll take you to go and select the spreadsheet you want to choose, which I created one called the CRM. So I'm going to choose that one. So everybody that fills this form out will populate to this CRM spreadsheet I created. You can start tracking all your people that fill out your forms. They go to this one spreadsheet. So I'm going to click insert. And this is what the form looks like. But everybody that fills it out, they will be populating all this information that is actually on the form. So let's go back to responses. We've gone through settings already. Now these dots next to publish, 3 dots next to publish, let's click those. It's make a copy, move it to trash. You can pre-fill the form. You can embed HTML for, putting it on your website. You can print the form. You can use app script, and you can get add-ons. And of course, keyboard shortcuts. Now we're ready to publish the form. So we click publish, and it shows you responders, anyone with a link. And if we want to make changes to that, we click manage. Nobody can shorten that link. And then you copy it and you take the link to share on your social profiles, your websites, wherever you connect with people, you can share the link to this forum. You just set up a form without paying for a single extra tool. That's what it looks like to save time using what you already have. If you're ready to keep building a professional operation using your Google Workspace, subscribe so you never miss a tutorial.